Welcome to Silicon Valley Impact, brought to you live from Silicon Valley, California. Please give a warm welcome to your host, Brian Sparks!
Let that music play. Nice. All right.
Somehow, I feel like the timing was a little off today, Brian. I don't know exactly what.
That felt like a new track, Brian. Did you put in a new track?
I don't know. Well, I moved some things around, and so maybe.
Yeah, and it's been a while. We don't know what we're doing here, but you know, it's been a few weeks since we've been in the studio. And we're stretching into we're actually getting ready to start a third season. We got a few more episodes left to finish up season 2.
We're kind of coming to the end of the year like everybody else.
Yeah, coming to the end of the year.
And we haven't been here for a couple weeks, like I said. So, or maybe you said that.
Yeah, I've been on assignment.
Last time I saw you was in Napa, basically.
Yeah, that was a great episode. But you've been away. I've been on way out. But we got a great show.
Yeah.
You said you have some questions for me, though, Brian. Are you going to?
No, I have just personal questions for you.
Oh, okay.
Nothing you definitely don't want brought out here.
What happened to you? What's wrong with you?
How can I be more like you? Is one of my questions. Like, what do I got to do? Yeah. Like, how do I up my game to be more like Brian Sparks?
I love it. Okay,
Brian.
Well, I want to welcome everybody to. Is my mic on, Brian? Doesn't feel like I have that pop, or is it me?
It's just you.
Okay. Well, I want to welcome everybody to Silicon Valley Impact. I'm your host, Brian Sparks. The purpose of the show is to have honest conversations about what it takes to build great businesses and communities so that you can make an impact within your own. All right, that never misses a beat.
Yeah.
Brian, we got 2 great guests today. We're going to bring them in a minute, but once again, I will be returning to Opal December 7th through the 9th down in Dana Point. So if you're in the area or you want to fly in, look at our show notes. You can join me down at Dana Point for the Wealth Summit. I believe it's the Wealth Summit, but you can check out the website. We'll have all the information. I'll be down there with David Lieberwitz and the whole crew, who are wonderful people, and it's going to be a great event. We're also doing in 2026 the IIT conference, so check out IIT2026.org. That's going to be great. I'm going to be on stage with Guide Kawasaki, AJ Thomas, a good friend of the show, and we'll be down there having fun for 5 days, Brian.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so
that sounds nice.
It's a long haul.
Yeah,
but it's going to be amazing. A lot of great content. All right, with that being said, you ready to do this, Brian?
Yeah.
Let's get into
you. I'm 100% with you.
All right, so we got Alan and Jackie in the house. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Yeah. So, Alan, you and I have talked long about startups and what it takes to build. So we're going to dive into that. Jackie, you're a great communicator. You've been building a business around helping people get to yes. Not to be mistaken with the book, Getting to Yes, but your own process. So we're going to be talking about that, and I'm super excited. So, Alan, give a little quick intro about who you are, what you're working on, and what's new in your life.
Definitely. Thanks for the invitation. It's a big pleasure to be here with you today. So my name is Alan. I am the CEO and founder of Eleva. And first of all, I'm a proud dad and husband of my lovely wife, Flavia, who is in Brazil with family.
Nice.
And my 2 little boys, Victor and Arthur. So the loves of my life. That's the reason why I'm here today. So with Eleva, we're building we want to build the biggest and the most valuable network of websites that automatically optimize for AI assistants so they can get recommended by ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. So we're in pre-seed stage right now and with amazing co-founders and building this new thing that is in the very beginning of a big shift in the market.
And we'll talk a lot about that because the way you and I met, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we met at an accelerator at one point, and you were talking about, we were geeking out about failure. And when this show first started, Brian, if you remember, we used to bring in people who were unemployed because 2 things. One, startups fail, right? Yeah. And now what are they going to do next? There's corporate people who are, in Silicon Valley, they're constantly being laid off. So, they're looking for their next thing. But I really believe that when you're in that space, you have an opportunity to create. And that's where you and I, Alan, started really talking about is like, okay, that creative space. And what's remarkable about you and why you're really here is not only you're building great companies, but you know how to be resilient. you processed it emotionally, which was really insightful, but you get back on the horse and you just keep swinging. So I think that's really unique about your journey. So we'll talk about your startups, and also the resilience of an entrepreneur, which I think is unique. And Jackie, I
got one question on that, Brian.
Okay,
I got a brief description of what the current company is, but I didn't really feel like I grabbed a hold of exactly what you're doing. So please don't
leave that hanging. Okay.
Yeah, please let us know exactly what it is that you're doing.
Okay.
Right. We got a very high overview, but I also want to.
Well, we'll jump into that. You can unpack that
thank
specifically because I'll ask what problem you're solving, what is it, and I'll ask all those questions from an investor's perspective. Jackie.
Yes.
All right. I love your energy. You have not sat
does.
still since you got here.
No, she's got great energy. Made sure she learned everybody's name. Like really came in grounded and participating. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. And well prepared because she said she drove by the studio yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
definitely.
Yeah.
I love it. So Jackie, we're already in love with you. You're doing amazing work, but let our audience know a little bit about you.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you. I am honored. My name is Jackie Wu, and I am an award-winning entrepreneur, keynote speaker, and also business growth strategist. I want to thank you, Brian, for reaching out to me, very patient with me, and for my invitation over here. What I would like to share with the audience today is to help them how they can get a yes in just one conversation so they can secure the highest value opportunity. Because for me, my journey, I have my startup business during the pandemic very recently, and I have no money for marketing and no network. But using the very same formula of the quick sale conversion, I literally have the business up and running. And in under 1 year, I serve clients across multiple continents. And it has grown very fast. And for me, what I know is as a business owner, as an entrepreneur or investor, our goal is to be successful as soon as possible so we can have more time for the loved one to enjoy. Isn't that what we want? And therefore, I would love to share with you how that you be able to just get a yes in one on the spot.
Wow.
Do you drink coffee, Jackie?
No, just water and tea.
I love your energy. And I think there has to be something you said about enthusiasm about what you do, because definitely your enthusiasm's contagious. So thank you so much for being here. And I'm looking forward to talking about, from both of you, right? Really what it's like to continually connect with your audience, whether it be investors, partners, whatever it may be, because, Alan, you've raised a lot. You've connected with an audience very quickly. We held a few weeks ago a online workshop called Pitchmaster, and we were talking about how important it is to connect with your audience like within 15 seconds, like right away. You only have a short period of time to really connect with somebody. So let's start there, and we'll start with you, Alan. You've pitched a lot. You've raised for a few companies, but you've had multiple companies beyond that. So in your journey of raising, what has been some of your strategies and your insights from failures that you've learned in connecting with investors?
Yeah, that's a great question. So from answering your first question about.
And can I say this to our audience? Brian, I want to say this. Both these two have this X factor high likability component.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's something to be said about founder and investor fit. There's just certain qualities about people that we'll talk about throughout the show that I think are important, but we can kind of get the strategy. So I just wanted to point that out. These two are, so if you're listening on the show, I would suggest to go to YouTube so you can see how these two are engaging in this conversation, because I think there's a lot to be said about that.
And then I'm going to throw a plug in there that if you're going over to YouTube, you may as well subscribe while you're there.
Yeah, while you're there,
right?
That makes sense.
You may as well subscribe. It doesn't take anything.
Yeah, makes sense, Brian.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Alan, sorry. Do you remember the question I asked? Because I don't remember what I asked.
I have ADHD, so we have to repeat that.
I think we all do. So now we're going to start talking about making cookies.
Good job, Alan.
No, the question was around connecting with your audience, your investors, in a very quick time. And from your perspective, what were some of the wins in investing in all the companies that you built up, and some of the insights from, for lack of a better word, the failures?
Yeah, great question. So I think you like your first question already carries the answer, which is understanding very well your audience, and I think Jackie can agree with that. So once you understand who are you pitching to, it makes like this job of pitching way easier. And about my journey on raising capital for my startups, I think it's definitely not an easy path, but I think it's a different sport, and the best outcome for me is the way that you can connect with amazing people that have built and supported amazing companies, and that is a way for us to kind of bend time and learn in a super fastest way, which is mainly the pillars of building startups.
So I'm hearing two things from you, if I can just summarize real quick, and Jackie, you can chime in on this, because we'll slowly unpack this and go different directions, because we all have ADD, so we'll do this. But I'm hearing two things. One, understanding who you're talking to, because it's one thing to have a great idea and then find somebody who may need it, who understands you, and there's a connection. That's exhausting. But when you really understand the person you're talking to, you can kind of meet them at their value, their pain point, their needs, and you're saying the understanding piece allows you to speak directly towards that. And that's one thing I'm hearing. The other one I'm hearing from you is you surround yourself with people who are doing the same thing and find best practices. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, and the important piece of that, and when you're dealing with mailing investors that eventually will support your business, is that they have most of them at least, they have great value to add to your idea or to your business. So in being generalistic, most of investors, could be a great value provider, not just with capital, but like knowledge and network, which is one of the most factors for a company to succeed, right? Like you need to have a great network of people so you can get good talent, so you can get another investors for your next rounds. Yeah. So it's all of there's a lot of benefits that goes way beyond than just capital. So
I'm hearing something important. A lot of startups, they come in with the framework of, I need to find capital. It's almost like the survival mode. Like I need this. But what I'm hearing is you have this framework of connection. I have a value to bring to the table. I'm now looking for the other side, in your case, the investor, who can bring value to the table as well. So you really have this relationship mindset that looks for mutual value. Is that what I'm hearing?
You describe it perfectly. I think
thank you very
investors are they're not a bank, right? They are someone who will be your partner until like eventually you'll sell your company. So imagine it could be like marry someone. So you need to understand, like know them pretty well, and that's why warm intros works well, because it's like your friend introducing you.
There's already a connection.
So this is, I think, the sweet spot, and
that's huge. Okay, so we got so many different directions we can go from here. That's great. But Jackie, I want you to bring you into this conversation. You're speaking to an audience, whether it's coaching, advisory for a startup or investor. Your audience. What's your tip in the first 15 seconds?
15 seconds. I think that to observe their body language is the important thing. So before we get to know them, see them, look into their soul and find out what it is, why they are there. It's just, I think that beyond just the element of get to know them, because in 15 seconds, very little time, but if you can see their eyes and you can lock into it, you pretty much will figure out what that you need to do with it.
That's so true. And I can attest to you practice what you preach, because when you walked in here, you squared up to everybody, shook their hand and looked directly in their eyes and said, nice to meet you.
Now I want to hear what she has to think about all of us.
Thank you, Brian.
Look into my eyes and tell me what you see.
Yeah, or maybe I don't want to know what she has to think about all of us.
5 gentlemen in here, so I can assure you.
So you're saying the second, so for example, I mean,
Yes.
this week Plug and Play has their summit going on. We have ton of investors
Yep.
taking the stage. And whether you're taking the stage at that location or another location, you're getting ready to pitch. Walking to the mic or walking to that spot where you're going to give your pitch,
Right.
you're already communicating is what I'm hearing.
Already. By the time that I'm on the stage, I already figured out who actually would be my raving fan before I even start my speech. And then by the way that their body language, the way they move, the eye that they look, I'd already figured out a lot about their history.
So give me some of the like high level things that people can start to be aware of to radiate that trustworthiness or that connectivity.
And I'm going to put a second part to that question.
Yes.
What can we do to radiate it? But also, what can we do to read it? Like, what are some? When you're done with that,
Yes.
what can we do?
Right.
I would like to hear what you're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
one.
Thank you, Brian and
Yeah.
Brian. So for me,
Ryan.
So for me, when I step into the audience, let's say, for example, just several days ago on Saturday, I had the privilege to share the stage with the legendary Hall of Fame speaker, Patricia Fripp. Also on my topic of...
She's a Hall of Fame speaker.
She's a Hall of Fame speaker, legendary Hall of Fame speaker. She was the first woman president of the National Speaker Association. And then she is one of my mentors. Most of my mentors are Hall of Fame speakers.
Say her name one more time for the audience.
She is Patricia Fripp.
Okay.
It's Fripp. She's very well known in the world of National Speaker Association.
And you were sharing the stage with her.
Yes.
Nice.
Like just 2-3 days ago on Saturday, and we have a confat event. And so I myself, because I am the board director and program chair for the National Speaker Association Northwest. So I actually create the program, and then we call that deep dive a virtual program or confat in-person program.
An in-person program.
In-person program. So because my schedule is very, very tight, I rarely visit the headquarters, which is in Seattle. So this time I have some time, I share the stay. And then the event actually is the biggest event of audience ever in the history, 40 years of the
So when you took the stage, how did you walk out on stage?
Yes.
Did you, to Brian's question, what were you, right, Brian, how do you show it?
How do you show it, and how do you interpret it in
Yeah.
others?
Right, right.
How do you view it?
Definitely. So when I walk on the stage, the first thing I have a quick scan on my audience. Very quick scan, probably 2-3 seconds. And in that quick scan, I can lock eyes into the right person I'm looking at. Just like when I come to talk with you, Brian and Alan, I lock eye. In their eye, just a nanosecond connect. I can tell whether or not they into it. Are they really resonate with it, or they're nervous, or they really to challenge, to debate, or they really there is because they want to collab. So when I look at that for the audience, then I figured out, this person is the one that I should connect with, bring them into the stage. The other one, maybe they're thinking, give them some time. By the time I finish, I scan to look, right? And their body language. If they are comfortable with me, they be smiling and lean forward. Right?
So Jackie, I gotta slow you down because there's so much good stuff here. Because a lot of people who are nervous taking the stage, they won't look at what we call the black mirror, right? Because
they go completely blank.
They go
They
completely.
don't see anything.
Yeah, right.
But
It's hard to do.
Thank
and
you.
It takes practice.
Thank you.
It does take practice, because I remember in the beginning I'm not going to make eye contact. It's the black mirror. I can't see. It's too deep. It'll show my fear.
Right.
But as I've gotten better,
Yes.
when you're able to look into the audience, it slows you down.
Yes.
It slows you down as the presenter on stage.
Right.
Because now you're focusing on somebody else rather than focusing on yourself.
Right.
The more you resist it, the more nervous you become. So what I'm hearing for our audience, if you're getting ready for a high impact presentation, this little skill of making eye contact with others, if you avoid it, you're gonna build the fear within yourself. But if you make eye contact, there's this vulnerability that gives you this magic confidence.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
I also
exactly.
think that it humanizes the audience and the experience.
Definitely.
If you just go fully Black Mirror, you're not connected to a group of people.
Yeah.
Right.
And these are people who are interested. They came to hear what you had to say.
Exactly.
And if you can connect with them that way individually and on a human level, it makes it easier to be on stage and present what it is that you're presenting.
That's so good. So number one,
Precisely,
eye contact.
Yes.
All right. So what would be the next one?
The next one is after the eye contact, then I will figure out who would be my raving fan. Right there in the audience, right? I'll be able to see them if they are so excited for the speech, right? You can look at their body. They're so happy, their eyes wide open, they lean forward. Then I know that would be the person I'm going to ask question for. Like Brian, right? He's so excited and very pleasant. The gentleman saying he would be the one that I ask question in my speech.
Yeah.
Right, and then
You hear that, Brian?
I heard it, yeah. So for our audience, talking about Brian B.
Yeah, she's looking at
Brian.
me.
We are gentlemen
I'm
over
always
here.
staring at
Just give
Brian, yeah.
example, right?
Brian.
Yep, and then if it's sometimes you saw the one of the audience, perhaps they more like timid, they reach into themselves, pull all the way to the back, and they look at you, kind of like, don't call me. Then try not to disturb that. He need peace, right? And I know that it takes practice because I didn't know it originally, but when my journey, I start my journey as in Stanford University as human resources, and I also work in human resources at Nvidia. I have a lot of time to observe the employee, the executive, so I learn from there.
So I got a quick question. You're looking at one person now. Okay, in my journey of a presentation, and again for our audience,
Yes.
And Alan, you've taken the stage a lot yourself. I'm hearing two things.
Yep.
Okay. If I'm nervous and I have the nerve to like look at the audience and I find that one person who's on my team, I tend to like stare at them the whole time. It's like I can't move my eyes. But what you're saying is you scan, you keep moving. It's almost like you're looking into the audience and you're going to see those on their phone. You're going to see those talking. They're going to be you don't focus on them. You just kind of cherry pick almost like a team of people. Like, okay, there's a fan, there's a fan, there's a fan.
Right.
Okay. But I was on stage on Saturday night.
I saw that.
Thing you saw.
Well
that.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm emceeing, and I actually was an auctioneer at one point. And the good thing about this is that if you see people who are in support of you, it helps you to feel like you're doing the job you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Right. So I see you, and then I look over and I see you, and then I look over and see somebody else who's also giving me positive feedback.
Right.
I can take from that the energy that I need to keep going and stay on message and feel comfortable and at peace about presenting.
Right.
I mean, so you're doing yourself a huge favor by finding those people.
Right. And then also piggyback on what you say, and also Brian said, I believe people are kind. People are nice. They want us to be successful. Everyone wants everyone else to be successful.
Yeah.
If they are not into it at that time, maybe it's their first time, maybe they're nervous. So I don't try to bring them up. But I believe the goodness all surrounding us. And because of that spirit, when I step on the stage, for me it's fun. I cannot wait to meet you. I love to talk with you, get to know each other so we can help each other to be more successful and have more time for the loved one.
Okay, so I'm hearing two things real quick, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm hearing two things. We got to get to the third. Yeah. One, eye contact.
Yes.
Two, validation.
Yes.
Right? You're looking at people because you did that when you walked in the room.
Right.
You're validating the people who you're engaging with.
Yes.
And then what would be the third?
She just said it.
What, did I miss it?
I think the assumption that everybody is there actually supporting you and that they want you to succeed.
Yeah.
I think most people step on stage thinking somehow, not even thinking this thought, but somehow subconsciously, I am going to fail. These people want me to fail. You know what I'm saying? That's what nervousness
It's a mindset.
is.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
I'm going to get on stage and somehow mess it up so badly and everyone's going to laugh at me.
Yeah.
But really, I think you're right, Jackie, that everybody there wants you to succeed. They want to see you do well.
Yes,
and so I think that would be the third piece of what you're
Right.
talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's definitely. But if you can't get there, what would the body language piece is what I want to kind of come back to.
Yeah.
It's can I add one? Can I add one?
Please do.
I love this. The mindset I think is huge. The way you frame it, you're looking for your allies.
Yeah.
Alan, you still here?
No, I'm enjoying. Like, I'm here just absorbing. Like, keep going. Like, I'm loving this conversation.
This is partly Alan's business, isn't it?
Like, you invited the best guest. Seriously, like, I have such a good
Go.
time.
We're gonna get to you in a minute.
No, keep going.
But what I found to be powerful is Well, again, a mindset would be take your time.
Yes.
Right. Don't run to the mic. Take your
Right.
time. Scan.
Yeah.
But your feet.
Yeah.
Where you plant your feet
Oh, that's a very good question.
is so important.
Right, yes,
Because
yes.
we can get in our head,
Right.
and the more we're in our head, the
Right.
further we feel away from our body.
Yes.
You just blew my mind. Thank you,
Yeah.
Brian. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
allowing yourself to step,
Right.
and with every step, looking at somebody,
Right.
and then planting yourself
Yes.
confidently in front of the mic.
Yes.
Continue to look. Continue to think everybody's a friend.
Yes. Yes.
Build the team mentally is where it all begins, because then it radiates from the ground up.
Exactly. And I think that you say it or you summarize all of it, right? I think that when we go out there, and especially on stage, Brian, I'm sure Alan's too, right? When we on stage, a lot of time with the lighting in our face, right? And a lot of audio equipment and people surrounding, especially like in sporadic people from around the world, it's very hard to get a hang of it. But
Yeah.
I think that for me, what really helped me is before I step on stage, I told myself, people are kind. People are nice. People here, we want to help each other for better play. Where else better than go out there and share our insight
Yeah.
and make it a better play? So I have fun every single time. And
I
then
love
most of my speech, like the one that on the Saturday with the Hall of Fame speaker, I'm so busy, Brian. I did not have the time to prepare. I literally prepare my speech, which should take people many months. I prepared during my 12 hour from my hotel drive to the center. And that speech was like an oval applause speech for like 12 minutes, prepare for my 10-minute speech. So I think that helped the audience at best at heart, right? So it's the same like for investment, like for our potential customer, the same thing. Look at them and say, we are here human beings, we are here to support one another, have fun.
Well, I think that's what weaves into what Alan was sharing earlier about understanding the audience. And then when you understand them, you can speak from that perspective, and you're not so much back in your own head about, oh, I wonder what they're going to like. You already know what they want if
Yeah.
you're thinking from their perspective, this empathetic perspective.
Yeah.
And then you can tailor your conversation to that and really approach that platform with confidence.
Yes.
All right, Brian, how am I doing?
You're doing great. I just love this concept. I mean, I think I do it somehow intuitively, but I know that when I go to see anybody speak, when I see people on stage, not only just speakers, but musicians or any kind of performer whatsoever, if they're relaxed and confident, I can relax in my own chair.
Yes.
If they're nervous or they're unsure of
Right.
what they're doing, or they're kind of staggering around or doing that nervous shuffle, I get nervous for them, and I have a hard time paying attention to the content.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it.
Right.
I have something to add to.
Yeah,
finally.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like I was absorbing, so, and seriously.
Alan's back.
Please welcome Alan to the show.
Sorry, guys. So something that I learned recently, and I would love to get your opinion on that. And it was a kind of framework that my co-founder also shared with me. I think most founders usually when they go pitching like to a couple investors or like some judges or like any audience, they go with this idea that they need to convince everybody. But in reality, and that's what I learned with my co-founder recently, is that you don't have to convince everybody.
Right.
You are just sharing your beliefs, and your goal is to find people that could connect, truly connect with you.
Right.
So the idea is like just share and don't try to convince anyone. Like your outcome, the best outcome for founders is to really find that deep connection with the people who will support you through the journey.
That's a powerful statement. Sand that down a little bit more, Alan. Like, what's the shift mentally when you put pressure on yourself? I think I'm actually answering it, but when you put pressure on yourself to convince, right, to get people to like you, to get people engaged with you, versus I'm just sharing. Sand that down a little bit. Like, what pressure are you taking off of yourself?
Yeah, I think the cheapest path is always through transparency and honesty. So remove all the don't try to pretend what you're not, right? So be authentic, because that's again the cheapest and the shortest path for you to build meaningful relationships. Again, like I'm talking from the perspective of a founder building connections with investor partners and eventually the founding team or even co-founders. So you want to shorten that path so you can meet and understand that person and vice versa. If you add a lot of layers of characteristics that are not from you, you're just making it super complex, and you're not getting to that outcome that you're expecting, which is building a mini relationship so you can build a good company. Make sense?
I think this is great advice for all relationships, and I would say it would make great dating advice. I haven't been dating for a long time, but like I just hear these stories about people falsifying their profiles, right, on dating websites or posting photos that aren't really them or that have been somehow enhanced or whatever. And it's like, that's not the way to build trust.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, if you can just be transparent and honest, which I know people struggle with, but boy, it's a game changer. It's a complete game changer, whether you're in front of an audience or one-on-one or right here in this small little studio. It's a complete game changer.
I'm hearing too this great humility. I love what Ray Dalio said years ago, that successful entrepreneurs really have three qualities. They're hungry, humble, and smart. Right? And the humble piece is to this sharing. It's this is what I know. This is what I believe. This is what I love. But you're almost like saying, I would like help with this. I would like collaboration with this.
I'm open to collaborate.
Yeah, and that the path to connectivity is exponentially shortened. But if you're going in to convince somebody, the path to connectivity is exponentially lengthened.
Yep.
Also, I think that there's this idea that you are curious about what other people have to bring to the table.
You're encouraging sharing.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than competing
So
and
not
convincing.
only just feature, but also like, well, what is it? What's your story? Like,
Yeah.
what are you about?
All right.
Yeah. We going to a break.
Let's go to a break because this is going quick. This is such a great conversation. All right, and we
got
come
plenty
back.
of time.
We got plenty of
Yeah,
time.
super relaxed.
And when we come back, we're going to speak from the perspective of failure and being resilient. And when we come back with Jackie and Alan.
Thank you.
Well, that didn't go as planned, but we're recording again. So I thought I had something queued
Let's
up, but
keep it messy, Brian.
sometimes technology will let you down.
All right, you got some new
So
toys over there.
During the, I'm trying some new stuff, and sometimes it works. But here's my question, and I said this at the top of the show. I just asked Jackie, like, well, okay, you got a lot of great insight, and you seem to have this really cool perspective, but I'm not sure what she does. So, but then I got back to my other question, which is, I also don't know exactly what Alan does.
Okay.
Can we spend a minute before? I know you love the how, the why, the who, but I want to know the what for just a second.
Okay, we'll
Can
start
we do
with Alan, and then we'll get back to Jackie because I know she's doing some great work with a lot of speakers and again sales teams and stuff of that sort. But let's start with Alan. Brian and I want to know very clearly, as if we were investors, what is it that you're building? What problem are you solving?
Right. And thanks for giving the opportunity for me to answer that properly. So at this point, you guys are familiar with ChatGPT, right? And everybody.
What?
Okay.
What?
Am I in Silicon Valley?
Yeah.
So this is with ChatGPT. When I say ChatGPT, I understand all the AI assistants that are popping up. And there's a new movement happening where people are replacing Google search for AI search, which is like people are preferring to search inside AI assistants. And that leads to a big problem for marketers and for all the companies that depends on online traffic. They need to acquire new leads from online channels. And the issue with this shift is people still don't know how to influence AIs like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, for example, on how to get recommended by these AI assistants. So companies, they need to kind of have some control on how they get recommended by these assistants, right? So this is how Eleva performs on the market. Like we help companies with a lot of infrastructure services to get your company recommended by ChatGPT. So it's in a short language is basically we do SEO for AI, but like in a infrastructure level.
So let me start with this question. Say I'm a startup who is listening, or I'm somebody who is looking to get the word out about, how to communicate effectively. And I go to Google now. Obviously, things are going to pop up.
Yes.
Right. There's going to be Google Ads. There's going to be SEO. There's going to be paid advertisement. There's going to be. They've figured out how to weave in advertisement into that search. What you're saying is, well, people now are using AI. Like, I'm a Perplexity fan. It pulls up research and gives me. But you're saying, how can I position myself as not an entrepreneur, but a marketer in those search opportunities as recommendations?
Yes.
And you're saying now it's not really something that's done very often.
Yes. So LLMs, which is the thing that is behind AI assistants, it's possible to influence that then, right, in a good way. So if you have any business, like, it's possible to do like a certain optimizations that ChatGPT recommends you. So
let me ask a question, because it kind of divides in my own mind at this point, because I can position myself as somebody who doesn't have a lot of great insight. As you'd be surprised how many people in C-suite don't have an AI strategy at this point. So it goes two ways. My question is, if I'm looking up, hey, how do I form a speech? It's going to give me the outline.
Yes.
Right. If I did that in Google, it's going to give me people to go see.
But ChatGPT is pulling that outline from some reference source.
Exactly.
And often now it seems like they're citing their sources for a number of reasons, but they're citing sources and pointing you at links to the sources, which I think is what you're talking about, Alan. Is that right? That you would become higher up on the rankings for where ChatGPT goes to get references and cite sources.
Yes. So it's basically, we make companies the source of truth. So it's a reliable source of information. So
you're
you
the
get
blue check mark of yes, information. I get it. Okay, go ahead.
So we help companies to become a good source of information, basically.
Validated,
and that's not just about content. That is also about the infrastructure. How your content is hosted in a way that is easier for LLMs to consume, because there's also a compute cost for them. If an AI bot, for example, from ChatGPT goes to your website and is full of JavaScript, it gets expensive for them to ingest that. They don't want to see all the animation on your website. They just are looking for that specific content so they can serve their user on the ChatGPT interface, for example. So one part of the optimization that we do is we create an invisible version of the website that is fully optimized for AI bots, and that makes everything full. Like the chance of you getting recommended by ChatGPT goes through the roof.
So who would use you, and what would that look like? So back to this, if I were to use you, I come to you and say, hey, I need this shadow website or the shadow script that allows the ChatGPT to comb through my information a lot quicker. Is that what so I would come to you and have that service done? Or who comes to you? Who's your customer?
Yeah, right now we are focusing on marketers. Like, you think everybody that is responsible for organic traffic, for example, they
inbound traffic.
Actually, like every marketer that is responsible for driving traffic, but because ChatGPT and AI assistants, they are now the new decision layer. Like, if you compare it to 2 years ago, people used to go on Google and open 20 tabs to try to search for a certain information and make a decision. Now, in less than 10 minutes, you get to a problem, you share your problem with ChatGPT, and you understand the problem, and you get to solution and get like a few recommendations of products or service that you need to hire. And the quality of the leads that come from ChatGPT is up to 5 times more qualified than any other channel. So that leads to any marketer who's not using this channel to help their business to generate more revenue is losing a big opportunity here.
This sounds like a home run. All right. so I'm going to get to it just for the sake of time. Brian, you kind of know what he's working on?
I do. I have a pretty keen grasp. I mean, it's essentially what we generally refer to in internet search as SEO to a degree. I think we could liken those two things.
But he's created what I'm hearing.
And at the time SEO was probably created, right? This idea of search engine optimization, it was cutting edge, and now I think it's been diluted and has really lost some of its impact. So, right? So now people are shifting, like you said, to using ChatGPT as their search engine. So, am I on track here, Alan?
Well, I'm hearing
Perfect.
that.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that, but you provide quicker accessibility through that information. So it's rather than, like, for example, someone traveling off road and have to navigate, the bumps and the landscape. You're just creating this highway where they can go faster through the information.
Yeah. We the way we're building Eleva is. So let me talk about the nature of LLMs. They are all of the LLMs. They are mainly a black box. You don't know why they recommend a certain product or a company, right? Like they have their own logic on making recommendations. So the way Eleva solves that problem is we onboard. Our goal is to onboard a big number of websites, and we have also a tracking system understanding AI analytics, where the more websites we bring on board, the more events we are able to see from bots requesting content from these websites. And if we have enough events from these AI bots, we're able to see a lot of patterns on how these AIs are preferring and recommending this content. So basically, in other words, we are reversing engineer how these AIs are recommending certain products and companies.
I love it. I'm gonna ask a tough question. The hard-hitting journalism question now. What makes you feel, now you've got several companies under your belt, what do you feel will be successful about this one in contrast to maybe a startup that didn't work in your past before? Because that's where you and I really connected before, is your ability to be resilient and keep moving on. Where were the mistakes before that you feel that you won't be making this time? And granted, for our audience and you, success in one startup doesn't guarantee success in the other, and then failure recognition doesn't guarantee success already moving forward. With that being said, what has been kind of your lessons from the past that you will apply moving forward?
And just a quick note here. 2 years ago, when I shared with you that my previous company was not going well, you came to me and I was almost depressed and said "Oh, congrats!" a failure is good. And
especially when you're young.
And looking backwards, I think we definitely learn way more from failures than success, right? So this is a great opportunity for us to improve ourselves and sharpen our future. But from these failures, I think I can highlight a couple of them. Of course, one of them is picking your initial teams or your co-founders.
And I just want to say this for our audience, because I know we're jumping into an old conversation. This is for you too, Jackie, just so you know, is that Alan's company was funded. Yep. It's not just we're going to try build a product, see if we can get funding, and then that's where literally 90 plus, if not 95 plus of startups fail. It's just funding. You were funded. Yeah. So this is what makes it really interesting, because just because you climb that big hill of funding doesn't mean the challenges stop. Yeah.
And also it's when things are not going well, there's a lot of some bad feelings of I sold a dream for investors and for a lot of people, and you feel like you lost their trust, but professional investors, they understand that this is part of the game, right? If you are a founder fully committed, they understand that you're doing all you can do in order to make that business successful. So you are the person in the arena, right? So but going back to things that I learned is co-founders, the founding team is super important, and if you are alone, building a successful business, going to war every day. So you want to make sure you have a strong team And this is one of the most important things. And you have to have like a great synergy and like.
Do you have the same team this time, or are some of the same people?
Yes, some of them. One of them was my previous investor, so
that says a lot.
Yeah, it's a good thing, like how you build a relationship, right? Like this is something that is. It feels amazing. Like it's hard for me to express like the joy and of us being in this game again together.
Yeah, I love that. So I mean, so real quick. Team was number one. Can you give me another one that you think that's really, I mean, because there's so many, but yet top of mind. And Jackie, it's not missed on me that as you're over there listening, you're playing to the camera as in the background. I love how you're making eye contact with the camera as you're listening.
Thank you.
Just wanted to point that out.
You.
So go ahead. Another high level insight that you gained.
Sure. I think there's two things there. Could be two items, but I got to try to merge into one, which is timing. Mm-hmm. And as the CEO, the person who's leading the direction of the company, I think you need to be very good at or anticipating the market or being able to influence the market, where the market is going. Mm-hmm. Because most of entrepreneurs, they end up into a place where they just react. Mm-hmm. And if you're building, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's most of traditional business, they just react and they survive and they do profit pretty well over the years. Mm-hmm. But like you need to be very mindful. If you're building a startup, like a fast growing company, you need to be ahead of the market. Yep. And you need to so you can capture that market before others. And that's how you aim on the idea is how you get that price before other companies.
Yeah.
So of course, again, like we're talking about fast growing startups, and I think timing is one of the most important things, and being able to anticipate or influence that market and according to your vision. Yeah. And for that, like then we can discuss like how you do that. But like I think that's another conversation.
How you do. Speaking of conversations, so same question to Jackie. Brian had the question earlier, like specifically who are you working with? Obviously, you're taking the stage with very accomplished people. You've got the attention of the industry very quickly. But who is your audience and who is your customer?
Right. Thank you so much, Brian. Wonderful question. Wonderful sharing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
We all love Jackie.
And then, so thank you so much. My audience, my raving client would be new and emerging startup founder, right? And also for the investor as well, because the way that I do things, based on my own experience, I'm very fortunate. I started my very first business during the pandemic, and I was so worried. I've been there, done that, went through the worry, the thinking of how things work. But I know that because my background, I come from enterprise company. Before I start my company, I work with many Fortune 500 company, and I was ranked top 1% salesperson nationally many times. So because the company I came from, their revenue is so big, it's a $42 billion annual sale. So the sales cycle, the close sale have to be fast and effective. Mm-hmm. And then before that, I worked for, and some of the company you probably also know, like Tiffany, Louis Vuitton, right? Mm-hmm. It's a high-end, their revenue is so huge, and that's one of them. And before that, I started my career from Stanford University as human resources and also with Nvidia, the number one AI company these days. So I understand the human behavior, human psychology very well. And so before I start my own business, I never thought I had my own business. I'm very risk averse. That's what you say. Mm-hmm. I love my paycheck. every single 2 weeks. And I love to have my healthcare insurance, my retirement, everything. But during the pandemic, my loved one was very sick and I need to help them. And then you remember at that time, it's a shelter in place or you go to work. So I cannot do hybrid. And then so I talked to some of my my dear friend, my mentor, my coach. They say, Jackie, why don't you build your own company? I'm like, how do you mean? How does it work? They say, Jackie, remember how quick that you can close the sale. You can close the sale so fast. Literally, they told me you can sell ice to Eskimo and make tons of profit out of it. I'm like,
that's a compliment. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So I said, okay, I do that. And then they say, well, Jackie, what you want to do is you want to start to help people with confidence. And they say, Jackie, remember when you first came to this country, you barely spoke English, that you've been there, right? And then penniless. Mm-hmm. And took a village to help me. And then from there, from the like a minimum pay job, then I get into Stanford, get into Nvidia and Tiffany, and then now company. They say from there, then you can fly. And so my business at the beginning is to help people to build confidence, right? In order to get what they want, because I believe if we have the confidence, we'll be more persuasive, we'll be more inspiring for other people. And from there, I get a chance to meet with many startup and emerging entrepreneur globally. And then one of the things that they bring to my attention is, and also research show this 90% of startup fail. Mm-hmm. At the beginning, 5 years, and then those 10% successful, for the next 5 years, they fail also because they don't not bring revenue. Yeah. And with that in mind, I'm like, I better make it for my first 5 years. And that's how that I use my quick sell close in an enterprise sale and get into the small business. So for me, close sale is really a piece of cake. So therefore, that now I would like to go out and spread the word for the entrepreneurs to know that you really don't have to do the lengthy follow-up. You don't really need to have to do a drawn-out negotiation price war. Make sure you qualify the person you talk with well. Right? Make sure that at the meeting of the minds. Yeah. And then once you've done it in just one conversation, you will secure what you want on the spot. I say it, Brian, because I myself, when I first start my business, right, I was like, I have no one invest in my own. So, I'm going to find one person that is important so that if with that person's support, I can get everything that trickle down. So just to kind of recap, because you said a lot of good stuff right there. So you talked about confidence and closing, but you also said that your primary client are founders at this point, and you have a lot of experience with shortening the time that closing happens. Yes. And so you look up the word confidence in the dictionary, and like the next word is trust. Right. People do business with what they trust. Yes. So how do you, speaking from a founder's perspective, how do you shorten that close? Because when the runway is shortened with funding or money you may have in the bank, they want to close quickly. They want to make relationships quickly. Yeah. What are some of those things in conversations that can help accelerate trust? And getting to, as you put it, getting to yes and closing? Yeah, definitely. That's a good question. I appreciate that. I think that, let me give you a quick example so you get a concept, right? Yeah. The very first person that I met is our current state treasurer, Fiona Ma. Oh, yeah. Right? She currently, as you know, like in the speaking, right? She literally, her office managed $3.5 trillion California funding and investment. And I told to myself, I say, okay, if I don't know anyone in that world, if I want to see whether my quick sell close strategy would work, she would be the perfect one. If I can convince her in one conversation to support me, that would be perfect. So I packed my bag from Silicon Valley, drove all the way to Sacramento. I have a conversation with her about that. I would like to call small business owner. You just pulled up and knocked on the door and said... And I talked with her in literally, Brian, in 7 minutes. I talked to her. She approved for my pilot coaching program for State of California. Imagine that. And then I'm like, okay, this is, so I think to myself, I say, if it that with that high level, only need one conversation, then really for most of what we do, if we plan well and we structure the conversation well, we don't have to do lengthy. Yeah. And then the other one also, Brian, just so that our audience get an idea, right? The fun one, I once closed a $228,000 sale from Tiffany under 30 minutes for someone I just met.
Nice. Okay.
Imagine that you have all the time
give
in
it
the
the
world,
bullet,
more
the
than
bullet
30
points.
minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so to answer your question, how do you build trust, right? I think that back to what Alan said, be authentic. Just be yourself. We are not matched for everyone. We are only matched for certain type of people, right? So just be yourself, the first one. And the second thing is, remember, life is a box of chocolates. Choose wisely. Know what flavor do you want, right? But like before, like if you are an entrepreneur, go for pitching or to get investment, get to know the investor a little bit. Don't just pitch plan. If you just pitch plan, the disappointment, the unsuccessful, the failure rate is very high.
Yeah.
But you qualify them. You get to know them a little bit, right? What they want, what they don't want. Are they really in the good value what you want? And then so when you step in that, for me, it's a battle.
Yeah.
Or anything step in is a battle. You know the other side. You know what they have. You know what you have. You can just click, and in one conversation, you close the deal.
We talk a lot about founder fit. I think we were saying this at the beginning of the show as well. And Alan, you were saying this too, is when you have a mutual desire to seek fit, you get away from this urgency I mean, even though closing is important, you're almost like you're letting go of that. It's the goal,
Right.
but you're not holding on to it so tight that you fear losing it.
No.
And then you don't communicate fear
Right.
with your body language, right? In your tone.
Yes.
And you don't put up extra barriers. So when
Right.
you're saying be authentic,
Yeah.
be yourself, come with confidence, it's
Yeah.
really about knowing your outcome, but really letting it go.
Yes, and then you just brought up a very important point, Brian. I'm so glad you mentioned it. The one thing that as an entrepreneur, right, or the investor, all we have to remember, be fearless. You'll be able to successful with or without it. If it's not working, next move on. It's over 7.5 billion people in this planet. They love you. People are kind. People are nice. If it's not a good match, go on to the next one. Don't drag. Life is too short to try to stick onto someone and to lengthy follow up with them, right? That's why for me, for my company, when I met with all of my potential clients, they know when they come to me, it's only one conversation. Definitely, it's only one conversation for the potential client. In that conversation, we talk, we get to know each other like a best friend. We haven't seen each other for a long time. And we find the right match. If it's a good match with work, if not, we part way, and I am not doing follow-up email marketing with them.
Yeah. I think that speaks a lot about an abundance mindset. I mean, some people have a scarcity mindset. Well, they'll say, oh no, this is the only investor that I'll be able to talk to, or this is the only client that I get to talk to. Can't let him get away.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is like, no, there's an abundance of opportunities. Move on to the next one. Let it go. Be authentic. Let that fit find its way.
Yeah.
But be ready. Understand who you're talking to.
Yeah.
So, Brian, go ahead. It's you.
Just as, one of my mentors in my career used to be a dealer at a casino, and her message was, "Desperate money never wins."
Exactly.
Ooh, that's so
Exactly.
good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
desperate money never wins. And
Yes.
and in my business now, something people throw off is that, oh, he's got commission breath.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that? Have you heard this saying before? Where you're just like all you can think about, you're not thinking about the person, you're not thinking about the sale, you're not thinking about taking care of them, you're just thinking about the paycheck at the end. And people can sense that. They can smell commission breath.
Commission breath. I like that.
Exactly. And one thing, if I may piggyback on this, right, as an entrepreneur, right, a new one, an emerging one, or also self-professional, whoever that needs to generate the revenue, right? Do not be desperate, because like Brian said, people can smell it. And when you're desperate, you sell yourself short, right? If that one need the revenue right away, either find a way to generate the revenue quickly, close the sale in one conversation, or if not, maybe find a part-time job, have a regular income coming in while you do the other one. That's way. Don't be fearful. There's not things to be afraid of. Entrepreneur is the ultimate freedom. There's so much opportunity to close sale and be yourself. And so just have fun and be fearless.
I think there's a lot to be said to that, because obviously a lot of us, Alan, in your case, and will build businesses.
Yeah.
Others will define themselves based on what they do, but life has so much more to offer.
Yes.
And so if you're not enjoying life in a balanced way, then, and you're only one dimension,
Right.
you can have that scarcity breath or that commission breath because this is all that I am. But if you have balance in family, in hobbies, in health, other activities, other people, then number one, you have your values and your priorities in order.
Right.
And you can still allocate appropriately the energy and your passion congruently into what you love.
It's amazing what you just say. That's amazing, right?
Well, thank you very much, Jackie. That means a lot.
It's like our circle of influence is so important, right? There's a saying, right? We are the 5 people that we surrounding ourselves with.
Yeah.
Right. So make sure that beyond the business in life, right, in the journey, surround with people that share our value. It's like we are raving fans for each other, right?
Yeah.
Like I know for sure that in my family, with my mom, my dad, my brother, my fiance, my loved one, we are like in the morning I wake up, I cannot wait to wake up in the morning to see them. Right? We
Lots
just
to be
like
thankful
go
for.
out there and
Yeah.
enjoy the journey. It's the same for my customer because my customer, I qualify them so well. We just become best friends and we just talk and have fun. And then at the morning, we're so happy at nighttime before we go sleep. I love you. Enjoy life. Have a good rest. Tomorrow we do it again.
So
That's
I
all
want to
I
remind
think.
everybody with Thanksgiving being this week, because
Yeah.
this will be rolling out during
Yeah.
Thanksgiving week. Think about that. Think about what you have to be thankful for, because we pull a lot of energy into building our businesses, into venture, whatever part of the ecosystem you play in. You may just be a casual, listener or participant.
Yeah.
Balance your life with the attention to the multiple things that you have to be thankful for. So, Brian, the more you know.
I'm a big believer. If you're one-dimensional, I find one-dimensional people to be a little, how should I say, less interesting than people who have other stuff going on in their lives.
Yeah, I like
Right?
it.
And
So-
if you're having a conversation about getting funding or pitching a company or doing anything really, it's nice to be able to reference some things that are not just feature.
Yeah, yeah. So Alan, so as we start to wind down the show, this has been a great episode. Alan, what's next for you, and how can people connect with you?
That's a good question. So we're building a big business according to where this market is going. We're just looking for amazing people to join in this movement. As it could be clients, could be investor, could be partners. And I really share this mentality of abundance that you guys share here. It's not about rejection. It's about finding the people that will follow you in this journey, that will share the same values with you. And eventually we're going to share the results all together.
I like that.
That's, I think, the invisible salary of founders, the possibility of building amazing things and impact change with people that share what you believe, your values. And so this is my invite to join us at Eleva as, again, clients, partners, whatever.
Yeah.
Anything. Like we're happy to build that with you and to help to change people's life for the better.
And the best way to connect with you is at LinkedIn or email. You can give your email, phone number. Whatever you like.
My email is alan@eleva.chat, and our website today is eleva.chat, so feel free to.
And I know those of you watching on YouTube can see how it's spelled. It's ELEVA, but those of you listening on Spotify and Apple, again, ELEVA.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. Jackie, what's next for you, and how can people connect with you?
Oh, thank you so much, Brian. Thank you for the wonderful show. I enjoy.
You made this all happen, Jackie. It's you and your energy brought us up. You all leveled it up.
I give her all the credits. I like it was wonderful, Jackie.
It's a great team. We are a great team. Just talk
No.
really, I am very grateful, very thankful. And for me, the next step would be, as you know, I just come back from my speech with several Hall of Fame speakers. Patricia is one of them. And there are also 2 Hall of Fame speakers, Bill Stanton and Brian Water. They are not only Hall of Fame speakers, they actually won, all 3 of them won the Harvard Lifetime Achievement Award. Meaning in our world, like a regular world, Hall of Fame speaker is Oscar winner. right? And then the COVID Lifetime Achievement, similar to the Kennedy Performance Arts Lifetime Award.
Yeah.
So all three of them tell me, they say, Jackie, it's amazing that you literally so new to the entrepreneur, but your sales strategy works so well, you can just close the deal in one conversation, or you can help them to get their highest value in just one conversation on the spot. Promise me, we give you an endorsement, but you go out there, you will spread the word for the greater good. You share your insight. So entrepreneur and then also like investor be able to get what they want in just one conversation.
Yeah.
So I love to connect with you to share the wisdom, because life is precious. It doesn't have to be lengthy. Just make it quick, make it fast, so you can be more successful and spend more time with the loved one. And so that I am a speaker, a keynote speaker. I also a sales trainer. I will be happy to come and talk to you how that I can help you to literally enhance your communication style. So in just one conversation, you be so inspiring. You make people feel so motivated and love to work with you. And how that
I'm a believer, Jackie. I'm a believer. Yeah.
Really?
Thank you. And then to connect with me, you can go into my website. And the website is treasurelifesjourney.com. Again, it's treasurelifesjourney.com, because I treasure this life.
Treasurelifesjourney.com. Okay,
Right.
I love it. And what I love about what you're working on, I mean, I have an affinity for great communicators, is if you're going to be successful in what you do need to be an authority.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Otherwise, you're going to fall to the noise of just, hey, ChatGPT will give you the answer you want. And really building trust with your audience, being able to have an effective message and position yourself well for business, as well as personal branding, right? Whatever it may be, or a job interview, whatever it may be, communication is key. Because the best product doesn't always win. It's the best communicator who's sharing that message and can build trust. So I want to thank you both for being here today. Brian, great show. Thanksgiving coming up. Got a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah, we'll be here next week as well, right?
Yeah, and we've got a great show next week. Trust me.
Okay.
See you all soon.
Thank you,
Safe.
guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Stay safe.
Pleasure.
So much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.